Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Miami Heat star criticized for recent comments. Confidence is one of the key components of succeeding in high-level sports. Yet, some of Tyler Harrow's recent comments about the Miami Heat have not been received well and branded overconfident. There is not a lot of positivity around the Heat at the moment, after what has been an uneventful offseason for the franchise. Despite being linked with players like Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell and DeMar DeRozan, the Heat have ultimately decided to stick with largely the options they already had available to them. In fact, one could argue that the Heat are weaker now than they were last season, having seen Caleb Martin leave as a free agent to join the Philadelphia 76ers. Yet, Harrow seems to believe that the Heat are good enough to win an NBA title if they are healthy. According to Forbes, he said, "We haven't been healthy yet. But we feel like when we do get healthy, we have a very deep team, a team that is deep enough to make a run in the East and ultimately win the NBA title." In the article, Tyler Harrow's overconfident comments are at the core of Miami Heat's issues on Sir Charles in charge. Michael Sines wrote, "In theory, you want a team to be confident. However, there can come a dangerous point in which a team is no longer just confident. It can come to the point where they become so confident that they lose track of reality." And the Heat's lack of moves, refusal to reshuffle their roster, and continued comments that spew unfounded confidence, and not just from Harrow, seem to suggest that the organization may be at that point. That has been the view of many basketball fans on social media as well. However, the thing is, Harrow does have a point. The Heat made it to the NBA Finals in 2023. That is not ancient history. And while they might have lost a first-round playoff series to eventual champions, Boston Celtics, last season, they were without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. Of course, Martin's exit is a blow to this team. But at the same time, Jamie Jaquez Jr. should be even better next season with a year of experience under his belt. This year's 15th overall draft pick, Kel'el Ware, has looked impressive as well and could be a solid contributor for the Heat next season, adding some much-needed height to the team and perhaps allowing Bam Adebayo to play a different role. Do not forget that Butler will be extra motivated as well, not only because he missed the last playoffs, but also because he is seeking a max contract extension. The Heat are often at their best when people count them out. Next season, they will have the chance to prove the doubters wrong once again. Tyler Harrow makes bold claim about Miami Heat. Tyler Harrow, the Miami Heat's dynamic guard, seems to be pretty confident heading into the 2024-25 NBA season. He has dedicated his summer to training following a challenging 2023-24 campaign that was marked by injury and trade rumors. The Heat have maintained a comparatively low profile during an offseason that has seen the likes of the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks make big moves in the East. Most fans would like to see the Heat strengthen the roster after a first-round playoff elimination at the hands of the Boston Celtics last season. However, their current assets are limited, which complicates the ability to acquire talent that can make a real difference. With the Celtics looking to defend their title and the 76ers and Knicks looking like genuine contenders, most people have written off the Heat when it comes to the Eastern Conference. Nevertheless, Harrow appears to believe that they are still highly competitive and have a strong chance of contending for the championship come next season. According to Forbes, when questioned whether the Heat should continue to be viewed as an inner-circle title contender, Harrow said, "I don't see why not. We have everything we need." It looks like Harrow is relying on the Heat's internal improvement as a team, as he said, "Obviously, there are a lot of teams in the East that think they have externally improved. But I think we've improved internally. It may look a little different, but we have young guys that we hope will continue to get better. Bam Adebayo and I are young guys who are starting to become full-fledged veterans in this league. Terry Rozier is healthy now and ready to compete. Then you have Jimmy Butler, who is extra motivated after not being able to play in the playoffs last season. Some people might view that as Harrow being overconfident, but he certainly has a point. Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler missed the playoff series against the Celtics last season. Injuries have been a major issue for the Heat, as Harrow pointed out. We haven't been healthy yet. But we feel like when we do get healthy, we have a very deep team, a team that is deep enough to make a run in the East and ultimately win the NBA title. At the same time, the Heat have plenty of young talent, who should continue improving as they gain more experience at the NBA level. Of course, Harrow needs to show some growth himself. After a bright start to his NBA career, the numbers have plateaued for him over the past 3 seasons. New blockbuster 3-team trade proposal sends Ingram to Miami, Hawks supplement shooting, NOP remakes backcourt. Even though the NBA offseason has concluded, the future of Brandon Ingram is still far from decided. Ingram's desire for a $200+ million contract and New Orleans' reluctance to give it to him have left both sides at a standstill. After making a deal with the Hawks for DeJounte Murray, the Pelicans have a lot of offensive options to balance. Everything revolves around franchise cornerstone Zion Williamson, but Murray, C.J. McCollum, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones are all going to require a significant amount of offensive opportunities even before Ingram is factored in. Add that to the fact that an extension for Trey Murphy III is looming on the horizon and the Pelicans are in a desperate situation. Ingram is clearly available, but his $36 million salary is not exactly a shoo-in for a wide variety of teams. That being said, one team that should be interested in his services is the Miami Heat. After losing in the first round to the eventual NBA champions in the Boston Celtics, the Heat look like a team destined for the play-in once again. In an improved Eastern Conference, they are in real danger of falling out of the play-in entirely if either Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo miss extended time. Shooting is not the biggest need for the Atlanta Hawks, but it was not a strength in 2023-24. They finished 17th in three-point percentage despite taking the 6th most attempts from deep. Adding shooters also gives Trae Young more space to operate, which is never a bad thing. By being a part of this deal, they can do exactly that. What would a 3-team deal that sends Ingram to Miami with Atlanta as the 3rd team look like? Here is the trade. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Ingram? Leave your opinion in the comments.